The other day, it came out in the news that Tony Evans, the famous pastor, had stepped down from ministry over a sin issue. Now, we don't know what that sin issue was. I don't know if he had a love child or if he got caught doing something, or they're not telling us, so we don't know. But recently, I believe it was last night, Tony Evans' son was preaching at the church and made it out as if he was coming back to the pulpit real soon. Let's talk about that. Hey guys, your friend Spencer here. Go ahead and smite that like button or the lizard people will get you. And also don't forget to become a channel member today. There's a lot of videos that we have for our channel members, a lot of live streams that we do, and we'd love for you to join that community. So hit the join button below, and that'll be great. Also hit the subscribe button on this channel. So Tony Evans, we did a video on him the other day, and let me pull that up for everybody. It was pretty wild. We we talked about how that he had resigned, and this is it right here, 9 days ago, 33,000 views, and I even posted that a few days after it happened. And so we just told you that he had resigned. There was no real information given as to why he resigned, but it was clear that he had done something sinful that he felt like was disqualifying, so he stepped away for a bit. And that's a good thing. Amen. You should do that. That's an integrity move to do so. But his son has preached a sermon, I believe it was Wednesday night, and made it out as if he was coming back to the pulpit after he had disqualified him. I don't know. I'm going to play the video. I'm going to let you come to your own conclusions here. Let's just see what this guy's got to say.
Word is true. And so what are we going to do? We're going to play offense. We're going to go and do and be what God has called us to go and do and be. And when he returns, when my dad returns, when that time comes, we're going to celebrate a victory we already knew beforehand that we had. So if you want to experience the power of Jesus Christ, you can't be boasting about your strength. You have to be willing to boast about your weakness. That's why my father is still teaching me who can get up and say, hey, I'm going to take time for spiritual restoration and be restored because I fell short. That's a hard thing to do because people don't like talking about weaknesses. They only like talking about strengths. His word
okay,
is
so
true.
I want you to notice that he says, when my father returns. There's a lot of questions there. I'm going to let him say it again. Let's just see, just try to make something out of this. Here we go.
We're going to play offense. We're going to go and do and be what God has called us to go and do and be. And when he returns, when my dad returns, when that time comes, we're going to celebrate a victory we already knew beforehand that we had.
Okay, so when my father returns, now the post here from Protestia, Tony Evans' son Jonathan preached in his stead on Father's Day, framing the whole message around his dad having a triumphal return after spiritual restoration. Now, listen, there's a lot of questions here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play out a scenario of like a hypothetical for you, and I'm going to explain to you why I don't think Tony Evans should return to the pulpit if this is the case. Now, if it's something... I don't know why he would step away from ministry over a sin issue unless it was something major. So I'm going to assume that something big went down in his life. He had some sort of moral failing. Either, I don't know. I mean, did he steal money? Did he have an affair? Robert Morris just got caught, confessed to messing with a 12-year-old years ago, and he's out, thank God. But I'm going to say, let's just say hypothetically, 20 years ago, Tony Evans had an affair on his wife, and it just came out. He's disqualified himself from ministry. Any man in ministry who's had a moral failure like that, to that degree, does not have the character to be qualified for ministry. Now, I want everybody to see this, because this is how this is how people get wrapped up with false teachers. This is how people get messed up with you like Kenneth Copeland doesn't bother you, and Greg Locke doesn't bother you, because you don't follow the guidelines that the Lord gave us in the Bible for who are the caliber and character of men that we ought to be following and looking to as spiritual leaders. Now, let's just look at what the Bible says. 1 Timothy 3:1, this is a true saying, if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. If you want to be a pastor, amen. That's great. Praise the Lord. A bishop then must, he must, this is this is the first hurdle you got to have to get into this. And if you don't qualify, you don't qualify. He must be blameless, meaning that he doesn't have a scandal on his record. He doesn't have a DUI. And I'm not talking about something you did way off in your past before you got saved. I'm talking about you're in church, you've been in church for a long time, you're solid in doctrine. You can't get a DUI and then 3 months later say, I want to go pastor a church. Do you believe what the Bible clearly says right in front of your face? A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, meaning that he's not messing around in bars with women, like Brian Houston was. I mean, the guy got busted. The leader of Hillsong Church in Australia got busted. He was popping pills and drinking, and was making passes at staff ladies in hotel rooms. That's not good behavior. That's not the character of a man who needs to be in the ministry. Bad morals and bad doctrine are Siamese twins, because if they're not these type of guys, then they're going to lead you astray. They're going to have an ulterior motive. They don't have the character that it takes to take this job as a bishop. It even says they're given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, no striker, meaning you can't go punch people in the face. I mean, you just can't, you're not a brawler like that, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride he fall into the condemnation of the devil. If you've been if you're an 18-year-old, you've been saved 5 months, you do not need to go pastor a church. You're a novice. And some people get mad about that, but that's just what the Bible plainly says in plain English. It is not a matter of, that's just how you interpret it. No, I didn't interpret it. I just read it. It's right there. Believe the plain English of the Bible. Just believe it. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into the reproach and snare of the devil. Now, this right here, just the fact of, we don't even know what it was, but just the fact that Tony Evans said he's stepping out of ministry because he has a sin issue means that he does not have a good report of them which are without. He is a fallen man. And now from here on out, the lost world is going to look at Tony Evans as some sort of shady, immoral guy. I don't make the rules. That's just how people are going to look at him. I mean, just go online and I'll just do it right here. I mean, just type in Tony Evans. Okay. Just the headlines are going to be stuff like, he's disqualified. We already had a victory, whatever. Yikes. I mean, it even says transgression. So, I mean, all the headlines are going to be negative about what the character of Tony Evans. And matter of fact, here we go. Here's a New York Post. Texas megachurch pastor Tony Evans resigns after nearly 50 years over mysterious sin. That right there, just that headline, is enough to disqualify Tony Evans from coming back into the ministry. I personally think Carl Lentz needs to go away forever. If he cares about the cause of Christ, and I don't think that Carl Lentz does, I think Carl Lentz cares about being in the limelight no matter what he is. I believe he is in some ways, I believe he is like a psychopath. I mean, the guy has no shame. Zero. He's a narcissist. Carl Lentz is a total narcissist. Because, the dude's messing around on his wife, one of the most high-profile, preachers in the world, and now he's trying to find some way back into people's homes, find some way back to influence people for Jesus, find some way. Go away, Carl Lentz. You've brought a reproach on the name of Christ, and you're not the kind of character that God requires in a bishop. So, here's the deal. If a man is shady, and if a man can't stay out of the bars, if a man can't keep his hands off women he's not married to, if a man can't control his home and rule his house, if a man can't control, his temper, where he gets mad and punches people, and he's not patient, he's a brawler, and he's just losing it on people, you don't put these men in spiritual leadership of the local church. They can't handle it. They'll do more harm than they do good. Doctrine matters is the theme of this channel, but I want you to also know that character matters too. Character matters. And so, I don't know, I'm really not sure what Tony Evans' family is planning. I don't know. They're hinting at stuff, and it seems like, it really just seems like they're trying to let him get back into the ministry. And that just won't do, folks. We can't allow that to happen. It says they didn't know. There's so much here. I'll let you go dig into your, go dig in this rabbit hole if you want to. But Tony Evans should not come back. He should come back to church, sure. I personally think Tony Evans' doctrine is so bad, I think he needs to go back to Bible college. Probably needs to maybe even revisit the idea if he's even saved. We talked about him 3 Adam 4. I'm for restoring people back to fellowship, but not restoring people back to leadership. And there are some men that have sinned so severely and so publicly that to put them back in the public spotlight is at best unwise and at worst sin. So think about that for a little while. Tony Evans shouldn't come back. This triumphant return that his son's talking about, I really hope that they're not letting this man back in the pulpit. I really hope so.
And when he returns, when my dad returns, when that time comes, we're going to celebrate a victory we already knew beforehand that we had.
I don't even know that. Like, what kind of charismatic cliche is that? I don't even know what he means. But this is the danger here. Now, when I did my Tony Evans video, there were people in there saying, well, we all sin. What's the deal with Tony? Why you got to be hard on Tony Evans? Because we all sin. Sure we do. That's completely obvious. It's obvious we all sin. No duh. But not all of us are in some sort of sex scandal. Not all, you see, that's a cop-out. Not all of us are compromisers. Not all of us are cheating on our wives. Not all of us are in bars. Not all of us are living in sin. There are some men out there that are living right, reading their Bible, loving the Lord Jesus, faithful to church, faithful to their family, doing right before God. Those men do exist. And those are the ones you ought to look to. Personally, I think you even ought to question who you watch on YouTube. Because there might be a few of those fallen creatures that fell from ministry that just found their way onto a keyboard and started making videos instead. I wouldn't name names, but there's a few of those, and you need to be careful. God bless you guys. I hope that this channel edifies you. I hope this channel teaches you. And I hope that we are able to instruct you in righteousness and show you what the Bible actually says. And so I hope we can serve you in that capacity. And we love you guys. Thank you for watching our channel. And we love you. And subscribe if you're new. And become a channel member today. And we're going to play a commercial about some merchandise we have. And we want you guys to prayerfully consider supporting this channel by buying our merchandise. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Hey guys, Spencer here. This is our Spreadshirt store, link in the description below, and we've got a couple new designs in here, more of a Japanese look that says Doctrine Matters on that. Of course, plenty of good designs to see, but I want you to check this one out. This is our Doctrine Matters Japanese design, and as you can see on the front, it's got Doctrine Matters in Japanese, and on the back, it's got this really cool print of Mr. Gizmo in like a Japanese painting. It's pretty awesome, and of course, there's some lizard people down here as well, and you can see Doctrine Matters in there, and got a lot of great options for this. If you want it on a men's t-shirt, you can get it all different kinds of colors and designs and things like that. Also, we have it on the teddy bear. You will love that. It goes on the back of the teddy bear too, different colors and designs there as well. And you ladies, you can check this out. We've got some pink t-shirts, we've got all kinds of colors, and hoodies and hats and mugs, and you can get you one today. I know that you will love this design. It is a great, cool thing, and all of the proceeds go to support our channel. And so check out this cool new design on the Spreadshirt store. And also look at the very top, you get 20% off for the next 5 days. So make sure you hit that button, redeem that, and link in the description for all these cool designs. Go check them out today and you will enjoy it. Doctrine Matters, friends, and we're trying to promote it through our merchandise. God bless you. Have a great day.